if you think of the popular learning and development model, the 70-20-10 model, where about 10% of learning should happen in a formal classroom, 20% is social, learning from peers and mentors and coaches, and then 70% of the learning experience should really be experiential and in the work and applied learning. And that's really where development happens. The definition of learning is gaining new knowledge, and the definition of development is applying that knowledge. So that's the 70%. It needs to happen where knowledge should be applied so that it becomes part of the wiring of our brain. So we're doing the thing that we've learned, we're practicing it, and then that teaches us what works, what doesn't work, and that adjusts how we're going to try it next time and how we're going to keep evolving and growing and developing ourselves. The way we've built our product is it's supposed to be about you in that moment when you need to apply it. So it's truly a development experience. It is 2 sentences of coaching on, hey, Kirsten, you're in this situation, you're meeting with this person, try this tactic. And it's accurate to me and to who I'm meeting with. And so I can try it, and it's not just a framework, and it actually then either works or doesn't work. And then I can know what to try next time to continuously develop myself. What's happening here is the learning is personalized. The personalized is a buzzword. A lot of people talk about personalization. When we talk about it, we mean it is truly about the learner, their situation right there, how they are wired, and then the wiring of the people around them. So we hear a lot from talent development leaders that they are investing resources into things like first-time manager training. That is a self-led program. It's micro learnings. It's only going to take maybe 10, 20 minutes a week. It's going to be short. It's going to be punchy and engaging, and it's going to be delivered to them where they're working. This is a fantastic effort. The challenge with it, however, is that it is concepts that are predetermined what week you're going to learn it. So for example, as a new manager, I may receive a training on here's how we give feedback. Here's a really good feedback framework that we have developed or that we have contracted out with Franklin Covey or another really good content provider or partner. And then the next week will be about, performance review process here at XYZ company, right? And so let's say I get that feedback framework as a new manager one week, and I try to apply it, and I apply it with Jeremiah, and he's been late to meetings a few times, and I give it a whirl and I give him this constructive feedback, and then the next week nothing changed. He's still late to the meeting, or we didn't have a productive conversation. And then I get a training on how to do performance reviews, and the next performance review cycle isn't for, 2 months or something. As a manager, that's a cognitive load for me. I'm stuck in a situation that I'm trying to figure out, and then I need to stop thinking about that and absorb a situation, a learning that isn't relevant to me right now. That's not truly personalized to me, to my situation. And even the feedback framework, as highly developed and truly impactful as those are, and they're research-based and they're wonderful, it's not really personalized to me and Jeremiah. How can we as development leaders actually personalize our content to people so that when they get it, it's something that they know exactly how to apply right now and continuously develop from? That's part of the magic of Cloverleaf that we didn't actually realize was going to help a learning experience. We just thought of it as people need help. People are busy every day. People are struggling with relationships, with miscommunication, with misunderstanding, with not getting their budget approved, with their project going off the rails, with receiving deliverables too late. People are struggling with all of these things that really come down to communication, motivation. How are 2 humans or 500 humans or 10,000 humans coordinating to make this whole process of work for ourselves? Another thing that we think about here at Cloverleaf is how can we make learning opportunities continuous? And people talk a lot about in the flow of work and nudges. And a lot of times these nudges say things like, hey, come and get developed today. Like log in to get, XYZ information. You have to go to the place to get the learning. That learning, even if it's micro, it still takes 5, maybe 10 minutes. And it still is requiring some mental gymnastics of, okay, this is a good concept, but how do I apply it to my day-to-day? How do I apply it to what I'm facing in my next meeting? What we've worked so hard to do is use data to understand the context of a person so we can push them a notification that in and of the notification itself is what they need to know to grow and develop. So we'll push a 2-sentence tip that says, hey, Kirsten, you might feel this way if this scenario comes up. Here's a tip on what to do with it. It's unique to me, my wiring, and I didn't need to click away. I didn't need to log into any other tool. I didn't need to spend more than 45 seconds learning, and it was pushed to me in the moment when I can apply it. I want to invite more and more learning leaders to think about how can we do that for our people? How can we move from micro learnings to nano learnings? And they're only going to be helpful if they're actually truly personalized to the reader, to the learner, and to the scenario where they're going to apply it. So instead of giving our people frameworks and concepts where they have to think through, okay, in this scenario, is this person in this situation or this situation? Think of assessments, for example. We train managers on assessments often in some sort of an emotional intelligence training or a high leadership development program, for example, have them take DISC. And oftentimes, it's wildly helpful for them to understand themselves. DISC is very popular because there's 4 options. You easily can recognize if somebody's being more analytical or more dominant. And then you train the manager in this when they're secluded, right? And then you put them back into the wild with their team and say, go apply it. And then the manager needs to remember in the tense moment when they're giving feedback to somebody, it's not going well, they have to think, okay, wait, is this person being more analytical and conscientious, or are they being more dominant? And what is the way I should give feedback to that person based on that? We're requiring mental gymnastics of our leaders to do this, or of whoever it is we've trained in the assessment. How might we actually just enhance that learning and digest it for them with the help of all the technological advancements we've had in the past 10 years, and then deliver them the information they need right in that moment so they can apply it? Some people get weary when we say this because they think, well, then we're not requiring people to learn. We're just giving them the information they need. And I think that is a great thing to be skeptical of. The thing is, you're not applying it for the person. This is why we'll never write emails for somebody or craft a pitch for somebody. But we will give them the tips they need to know to apply in that moment so that they apply it. And that's what truly gets the behavior change going. And that's what truly gets it to stick in their minds. We remove a lot of the mental gymnastics, but we don't do the action for them. We just get them to the point of the right information in the moment when they need it. That is how people keep saying about Cloverleaf, oh my gosh, this is spot on. Are you watching me? How did you know I needed to know this right now? And that's what's truly then able to drive engagement and behavior change ongoing for months and months and months, for years for our customers, because it's about them and it's delivered to them in the tool they're working in and at the moment when they need to apply it. We all need more opportunities to grow that are truly personalized to us, truly scalable, truly in the flow of work, nano learnings that I know what to do with right now. That is what drives behavior change.